Krista.
Hey, Zara. We're back.
We're back for another day of 12 Pods of Christmas. So what are we chatting about today?
We're going to chat about what the cool kids, what the new kids, what the Gen Z kids are calling ick, which I think we just call fucking pet peeves, right?
Yeah, but the trending word is ick. So we're going to use that one.
Yeah. So like stuff that's like cringe?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. So maybe not pet peeve, but stuff that's like cringe.
Yeah, so it's like, ugh. Yeah.
Okay, valid.
So I would say my number one is when people overshare on social media. Like they're updating, like they're updating like their Facebook status as if it was their diary.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
we are aligned.
We do not. The whole, like all of your friends on Facebook do not need to know your internal thoughts. That like just put them in your diary.
I agree. I feel like that's been a long time ick.
Yes. Yes.
If I could add on to that is also not only are they saying today we did this and then we drove here and then our son so-and-so did this and then this is when there's like a bad time going on in their life.
Yes.
I have two subsets of this, and they're upset and then they film themselves crying. And we have talked about this in other episodes, right?
Yeah.
It's like they got the ring light together and they're like, yeah, this is a good moment because I want to share good and bad with people. But it's like, I don't want to see this.
No. And like at that point, what are you
avoiding?
Well, yeah. And what are you wanting for your friends and family to say to you? Oh my God, I feel so bad for you. Oh, poor you. Oh my God. Like, come on. You're just getting the sympathy card. Like, just stop. Be a grown up. Do something else.
And it's weird because like in an emotional, vulnerable moment for myself, I'm not thinking of grabbing my camera and putting in record. So that to me, it's weird, and it's disingenuous to me. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't seem authentic.
Yeah, for sure. If I'm going through something, like the first thing that pops into my head is, oh, I should put this on Facebook. Absolutely not. Like, come on.
Like, I'll share it with my friend later.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I think that's just like, let's leave that in 2023. Like, let's just stop doing that in 2024. No.
We should also stop promoting or supporting like overly positive posts that people have about like their relationships or something or their family, because it's like those are usually lies as well. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, like what are you hiding? I don't believe you.
I just want to take a moment because we've been going through a hard time to recognize my hubby. He always rubs my feet and wipes my butt. Like,
truly, and like the longer the post, there's like real issues. I personally think that if you have a social media account for your pet and you actively run it, no.
Yeah. I don't know if it's cringe, but I'm not going to follow it.
Like, are you talking for your pet, or is your pet why? Like, why are you doing this? Just post those pictures on your personal one and just move on. Like, don't have a separate other one and then your like pets commenting on other pets' pictures. It's like, oh my God, stop the madness.
It's so funny. Yeah, it gets out of control because then it's like, are you living in reality in a way? Like,
exactly.
Another thing that gives me the ick is people on their own personal social medias when they post what are supposed to be considered candid photos, but that they just like step their arm out and they turn their head away to make it seem like they've been like captured in a candid moment.
That's funny.
Or they like put the timer on to like sit there looking at the lake and take a picture. It's just like, I think at this point, social media gives me the ick. I think if I'm being honest, yeah, it's like everything is contrived.
Yeah, absolutely. But then how do you know that they're doing that versus someone taking a picture? Like, I don't know. So I'm scrolling through, like, I don't know.
Yeah. But then that's a whole other thing is like, but you still want to capture the moment. So what are you capturing the moment for?
Yeah.
It's not for your own personal thing. You're going to post it.
Yeah, valid.
Another thing, while I love live events and concerts, I don't want to go through your stories, either on whatever app you use, to like see those couple seconds of the bad audio and like the blurry up and down movement of you at the concert
and the screaming,
like
and like listen, like hearing you sing the song.
like if it's not good quality picture or audio or anything, just don't, because I don't want to fast forward through the 60 stories that you posted.
Okay, well, I've done that in the past, but like only done like have done one story.
I do tons of stories at a concert.
Yeah.
But my audio and my steady hand are always leading the chart.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about every few minutes, it's like, dun, 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 and then it's like up and down because you're jumping or something. And it's like, I'm nauseous.
Yeah.
And I can't make out anything in the picture.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, okay, talking about that, I'm going to kind of piggyback off what you just said.
Cheers.
When people post pictures on a social media and the picture is like the worst quality picture, like it's blurry, it's fuzzy, there's like a finger on the picture, there's and you're just like, was this taken on like a 2010 like like flip phone? Like, what? Number one,
right?
Why do you think this is a good picture? Number two, why would you post this picture?
How's this still happening in 2023?
Like, no, cringe. I'm cringing. Like, I feel bad for you that you don't understand and you don't see what you're putting out there. So, no.
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, experiencing that on dating apps, it's like, there's no reason that you should ever have a bad picture. And if that's your picture in 2023, that we're not going to match, because you live in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's a good point on dating apps. That's a good point.
Yeah. You wouldn't know because you don't have to worry about that, luckily.
Man.
You know what? Also, it happens on dating apps, but social media too, which also gives me the ick. Especially, I think, even on YouTube, even though some people are out there to like do good things for good people, filming it all the time drives me crazy. Like, oh, this person is poor and homeless. Do you see them? They're on camera. I've mic'd them up. Now I'm going to walk up to them and give them $100.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the bad deed, like the good deed is now, it's not anymore.
It's ruined.
Yeah.
And then you're filming them because now you get to see them grovel at like how kind you are to do this for them.
Yeah.
And how you did it. But it's like, it just, it gives the wrong emotion to me.
Yeah. You're doing it for your benefit because you want those views and comments and shares. Are you truly doing it for the right reasons?
That's the thing. It's like, it doesn't feel like it's for the right reasons a lot of the time. I also don't like when people make their aesthetic on social media. Like, I know people like to take pictures of different like attractions or different arty things like around the city. Like, some people are about that. I don't like it when people take pictures of strangers and then post it to their social media.
Oh.
So like I knew a guy who's like an amateur photographer, but his whole Instagram grid is like around the city, like capturing candids of people. I don't like that. I would not like it if somebody took a picture of me and then posted it on their social to either like say shit about me or to capture me in a candid moment without my permission or knowledge. I can't stand it when people do that.
No, especially nowadays.
With other people.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. That's not cool.
No.
Something that I think is the ick, I would say in recent years, when you see a meeting invite come through your emails and it's for like longer than like an hour and a half. Like, no, it does not need to happen.
Meetings.
We're good. Thank you.
I also hate when the flip happens, when the person who, can never get to the point schedules the half-hour meeting, and now you have to make sure that you don't have a meeting after it because it'll go over because they can never actually gauge how long a meeting should take.
Like, no one has time for this.
I mean, meetings in general drive me crazy, but all-day meetings should be banned.
Yes.
I'm going to bring back an oldie but a goodie for cringe or ick.
Okay.
Mansplaining.
It still happens.
It's still, I was going to say the same thing. It still happens.
Yeah.
I just had a meeting where I say something in a meeting, and then, of course, I'm the only woman with 5 other men. And then as soon as I say something, somebody else has to say it to explain it because men don't recognize women's voices when they're talking, I guess. So then another man who maybe is tuned into his feminine side is like, oh, I will translate for the rest of the group. And then they have to say exactly what you just said.
Or they say it in like a literal different way, but it's the same thing. And everyone's like, oh, and you're like, I just said that.
Or they say it and it's factually incorrect, but because it's the only way they can understand it, they're like, oh, yeah, but it's the same thing.
No. Yeah.
But it's literally not.
Right. My husband did that to me the other night.
Okay,
and I was like, are you mansplaining me? And he goes, no. And I was like, you literally just did. He's like, did I? I'm like, yeah. Like, they don't even know that they're doing that.
No, what was it about?
I don't know. It was something stupid. And I was like, I know. Thank you. They don't realize.
That happens. It used to happen a bit, a lot in my family with like my cousins. That's probably why I like don't interact with them as much as like, I don't need anybody to explain what I've just said because I'm not a fucking moron.
Yeah. Truly.
And you are not smarter than me, in my opinion. So, like, the fact that you feel like you need to, like, explain it for the rest of the group, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. When I see someone take off their shoes on, like, a public transit or, like, it's like, no.
Yeah.
Get those shoes back on your freaking feet. Why do you need to do that? Because you want to be more comfy?
Yeah.
If you want to be more comfy, don't take a plane or public transit. Jesus. You know?
It's gross. It's so gross. Also, when people are having like conversations on like their phone, one, if they're not using like earphones as on speaker, but also if they're having a conversation that seems incredibly private that you feel awkward listening in on.
But you will be listening in on because you want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but you're like, literally, you should not be saying this out loud in front of people.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, and I have this infection, and yeah, and then like, ew, like what? Is it contagious?
Should I move away?
Yuck. Exactly.
Yeah. When I see someone like chewing with their mouth open or like loud eaters.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no. Like, chew with that mouth closed. Come on now.
I get that. Exactly. You're not a cow. Like, what are you smacking? Like, stop. Or people who do smack when they chew. So it's like, I didn't know your ancestry contained bovines. Like, what? An honorable mention, a special cringe, which I think is only a Krista thing, is, and it happens, I see, like, with a lot of Americans, not to call them out, is when they don't know how to use a knife and fork.
And you're an adult.
That's like a big difference. That's a big cultural difference between Canada and the US. Like, we are all taught that we have to like hold the fork in one hand, which is the left hand, and then the knife in the right hand, which is for everybody feels completely awkward because most of the population is right-handed. But then you'll see either them treat their fork and knife like they're carving a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they have it in the opposite hands. I can't get past that. But that's like an OCD thing.
Gotcha.
But I would, if a guy didn't know how to do that, like hold his knife and fork properly, I would not date him because that's something I couldn't get past my whole life.
Gotcha. That's funny. I would say an oldie too is when people wear their shoes in their house, so like wear their outside shoes and they walk around their house in them and they like go to their bedroom, they put their shoes on their bed, like ew. And I think we have spoken about this in another episode, but
in pet peeves, I think.
Yeah, but like as Canadians, we most of the time will take off our shoes once we get to the front door and then like we'll walk around. And some people will even like change their clothes entirely into like comfy clothes and then continue on. Absolutely. Like if you come in and you're wearing your outdoor shoes and you have jeans on and you're wearing like nice clothes and you just like, you don't change at all. Like I'm looking at you like, you're not gonna change? You're not gonna take your shoes off? You're not gonna like get into sweatpants? No? Okay.
Well, if they're your guests, they can't. But that brings me to another point about that. It's like those people that are wearing their outside clothes and then they just go sit on your bed without asking you. I mean, one, you probably will never get into my bedroom anyway to do that. But like, if that happens, like ask me and then I'll say yes or no, because then I can change the blanket after or something. But if you feel like you can just do that or even try and like get under the covers, I'd be like, what the fuck are you actually doing? Like, there's going to be violence.
That's funny.
We sound like two old ladies that are just complaining. They're the old ladies in the nursing home just living together, complaining about the good old days.
Oh, whatever.
Also, cringe is people who always go live to like provoke people in public to get the reaction and then like call it like racism or being mistreated, and they just provoke the situation.
Yeah. When I was like researching for this episode, it said that wanting to share food on the first date was an ick. Is that an ick to you?
Meaning like he's like, yeah, I'm going to order a chicken cacciatore. Do you want to split it? Like that?
I guess, yeah.
Or is it like splitting a plate of fries? I would say because I'm not necessarily a materialistic person and I'm not looking for a guy to like buy me things and I'm not looking for dates for free dinner. It just kind of depends on the overall vibe, I think. If I haven't eaten for the day and you ask me to dinner and then you say you want to like split a meal, I don't have the stomach of a 5-year-old. Like I need like a meal.
Right. Gotcha.
But you know, like if it just happens like we were hanging out and then we end up going for dinner, but neither of us are really hungry, but we're a little bit hungry and you're like, do you want to share something? Fine.
Yeah.
I'm peckish, but not hungry.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends.
Got it. Okay.
But I feel like if that person was the type to say, let's split a meal, that there's qualifying questions or conversation you can have before said dinner plans to figure out where that person is at. And if you haven't done those questions, to me, it's like you were just getting the dinner date for the free meal.
That's true.
Which is possible, but I don't have the time. I don't have the emotional space. I don't like talking to my coworkers even. So it's already hard for me to like talk to men that I want to date because I'm like, talk about what? Oh, you have a dog? What's his name? Oh, really? Cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I've got through like, I don't want to sound too negative, so I don't want to like talk about too many icks, but I'm trying to go through my list. I feel like I've talked about everything.
Yeah. There's just a few more on my list. I don't know if I want to say them though.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Maybe I forgot to put them on my list.
Like when people have bad breath nowadays.
Oh, like you thought. I just had that experience. Yeah, it's 2023.
Exactly.
There's gum. There's the things that you can put, the Listerine patches. There's so many ways.
There's Listerine rinse. There's brushing your teeth.
Yup.
Going to the dentist.
Electric toothbrush.
Yeah.
That can like do it for you.
Yeah. It's just interesting. And then the final one, I guess we're going to end on this one. Well, this is going to be a banger. When you have a handy person come to your house, that sounded weird. When you have someone come to your house to like help yourself with stuff around your house, let's say they're fixing something underneath your sink, and their pants are just a little too low, and you can see their butt crack, and you're just like, oh my god,
oh, plumber's crack.
Yeah,
that's too often a thing. I find that you're always seeing a butt crack of like the handyman.
Well, exactly.
Like, why don't they wear sweatpants?
Well, truly. And it's like, okay, well, you know you're going to be bending down and into something and doing whatever. Like, just pull up your pants a little more. Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, it's gross.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's like a prerequisite if you're like in the trades, plumbing especially. Like, how you need to have the flattest ass, sir, in order to graduate. You're like, check. It's like, we need to make sure that it's not only cracks in pipes, it's cracks in your ass. We need to show it. You pass. You graduate.
Like, maybe people like that, but like, no, thank you.
Ew. No. I don't like flat asses. I do have one more that's not related to ass cracks.
Okay, yeah, let's
But people,
yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's not end on full moons. Let's end on a different note. People that you don't know really well, like usually in the workplace, but it could be anywhere, who overshare. Like you don't know them and they overshare like private details of their life with you, and you're like, I don't know how to react.
Yes. Or even like
either medically or not.
Yes. Or you have someone in your family that overshares with somebody, like a stranger, and you're like, what are you doing? They don't care about that.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Yeah. Either way,
Literally.
it's cringe.
It gives me the ick.
Yeah, it gives me the ick for sure.
These are real icks. I feel like Gen Z are like, it gives me the ick when I like order delivery from Instacart and they keep giving me reusable bags. Like that's what they say. Give them the ick. It's like, what am I supposed to do with all of these? I don't know. Reuse them?
No.
I miss the days of plastic bags because it's like, what will I line my garbage can in the bathroom with?
Yeah, truly.
I got to buy bags?
Well,
I'm not going to use a reusable bag for it.
no. Well, I think we said enough icks for one episode. I feel like we could totally continue, but I feel like that's enough.
Yeah. This episode has given people the ick, so we can wrap up here. So for our listeners, what are some of your icks? Do you agree with our icks? Please share. We love hearing about this kind of stuff. If you like what you're hearing, give us a rating if you haven't already. If you want to continue to hear from us, we would love if you followed us as well. We engage with our listeners and our fans on our social media. You can follow us on our social media. We provide the links to all of our social media channels in every podcast episode description to make it easy for you to find us and contact us. We do put questions and polls at the end of episodes. I forgot to mention that before as well because we want to hear your feedback. And as always, we look forward to sharing more episodes with you. And luckily for you guys, we still have more coming. So we will be back again tomorrow.
Yes, exactly what Carissa said. We'll be back again tomorrow for another episode of 12 Pods of Christmas.
Yay! See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.